This is former TNA World Champion Raven, and you're listening to TNA Cross the Line podcast. Quote the Raven, nevermore. And don't cross the line. Or do cross the line. I'm not really sure if you're supposed to, you're not supposed to. I don't know. Whatever. You get it.
TNA Wrestling. Cross the line.
And we're back with episode 304 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Bob Colling Jr., and with me as always is Dallas Gridley. Dallas, we already know the main event for Victory Road. All the champions are involved. And originally, Jim Cornette had announced that it would be the TNA World Champion, Kurt Angle, teaming up with the TNA X Division Champion, Jay Lethal, against the TNA Tag Team Champions, Team 3D. However, over the course of the next 3 weeks, which included last week, the champions would be defending their championships. And if they were to lose the titles, the team or person who defeats them would then replace them in the main event at Victory Road. So, of course, last week, as I'm sure we'll discuss in a moment, Jay Lethal, in fact, lost the TNA X Division Championship in a three-way involving Chris Sabin and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe pinning Chris Sabin. So as it stands right now, it is TNA World Champion Kurt Angle teaming up with the TNA X Division Champion Samoa Joe. Of course, they have a long history of drama and hatred for each other ever since Angle's debut in late 2006, to take on the most decorated tag team in TNA in terms of just overall success, Team 3D. But this week, we know one match, and it will see the TNA World Champion Kurt Angle defending his championship and defending his spot in the main event at Victory Road. Because tonight, Kurt Angle is defending against both Christian Cage and Rhino in a three-way dance. Dallas, I feel like we're both on the same page in terms of Samoa Joe winning the X Division title. We're revisiting a potential Joe and Angle drama that has been maybe a bit played out. In Team 3D in a main event on pay-per-view, I don't know. It's going to be a tough sell. But tonight, how are we feeling? How are we feeling about Angle, Rhino, and Cage? Now, remember, Rhino went absolutely lunatic about having booze dumped on him by James Storm last week as well. How are we feeling about it, Dallas?
Well, Jay Lethal got screwed. I'm going to start that.
I would agree with that.
Dude got screwed. Now, I just looked up for fun really quick while you were giving us a recap. And I was like, I wonder how many X Division champions have we have? Samoa Joe winning it right then. He's now the 29th X Division champion. Really, reign. It's the 29th reign of the title.
Okay, so it's not different guys.
Correct. He's the 29th reign of the title.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. But that's a lot.
29 in a span about 5 years.
We had a couple. I mean, this was a pretty quick change, right? I mean,
so that's what, that's about 6 a year,
roughly.
Well, yeah, a quick reign, you said?
Yeah, I mean, technically, it was the 21st is when it aired. Now, of course, this Wikipedia page that has the history, they say his reign was only 2 days because the taping was 2 days after Slammiversary, but I feel like you have to go off when it airs. So I would say he held the title for 4 days, which is not much better. Because it aired on Thursday.
I mean, I guess you would.
I think you do, because technically, yeah, he did drop it, but the show itself does not air
The only way I think you wouldn't do that is if they acknowledged it before it aired.
Right. I think that'd be okay. But well, I mean, there is a little side note. This episode aired on a tape delay, but that doesn't help me because to me, I mean, yes, he technically did win it on June 19th, but on the TV episode, he won it on June 21st. It's whatever. We're getting in the weeds.
I'm saying like if the Impact was taped on a Tuesday.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Because like if
if Explosion was on a Wednesday and they're like, oh, Lethal lost the title last night.
Yeah, if it was at like a house show.
A house show, right? House show would be different.
And that's happened, where the title changes at a house show, and then it's like, well,
Jarrett beating Raven, technically.
I mean, you're right. It's even happened in TNA here, so.
Yep.
I don't know how I'm feeling about the Victory Road main event right now. It kind of feels weird to me. I don't know if I'm excited about it, because now, what's the rest of the card going to look like? It seems like we're going to get that Kazarian or Kaz against Raven match. But besides that, what else is this card going to be? I don't know.
If it almost feels like it's a throwaway pay-per-view, and then they're trying to sugarcoat it by saying all the champions in one match.
Oh, absolutely. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then I also wonder if they're like, we only have 4 weeks to build it up, so we'll just kind of...
that's a good point. It's a short build. Essentially, we have gone to a reset now because we just did one of our biggest shows of the year. So it's like, okay,
right,
it's freshened up, whatever. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely excited about that three-way match after what happened on the last episode, though. And speaking of our last episode, let's do a quick rundown of the card. Bob, we don't have a lot of notes to talk about today, which is great because we have a lot of house shows to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So on the June 21st, 2007 episode of Impact, we saw James Storm and Robert Roode team up for what we believe is the first time, not official as a team, but for the first time we've seen them in a straight tag team match to defeat Eric Young and Rhino in 2 minutes 30 seconds. After that is when that beer dumping thing happened that Bob already mentioned. Then we saw Chris Harris defeat Raven, and Havoc and Martyr were ringside. That match went 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And Kazarian kind of screwed Raven in that one. So that happened. And then, as also already mentioned, Samoa Joe defeated Chris Sabin and Jay Lethal to win the X Division title in 7 minutes 22 seconds in the main event. So, pretty fun card. As far as ratings go, TNA set its all-time record on June 21st, doing a 1.21 rating, its best in history. The 1.5 million viewers watching the show was the second highest total in history. The show did a 1.02 in both males 18 to 34 and males 35 to 49. The audience was 74% male, and the average viewer was 36 years old. So, that's great news.
That makes a lot. Yeah, TNA getting clearly a younger demographic. That makes a lot of sense.
And the biggest rating we've ever done. Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm just... the ratings have never made sense to me. So, like, 1.5 watched it, but that's the second highest or whatever. Or so the rating is higher? 1.2.
So, yeah, so the rating, which I'm assuming is, like, the average rating for the show, and I don't... Of course, it helps it better when we have the breakdown. I don't have the breakdown for quarters in this Observer, unfortunately. Yeah, so it did a 1.21 rating, but the 1.5 million viewers watching the show was the second highest total. So who watched throughout the whole show,
and like didn't go away.
I'm assuming that's what that means, or something like that. It also confuses me. I just like it for information.
I get it, but I'm just like,
yeah,
1.21, but then the 1.5 is tied for the most like people that watched. I guess the rating and viewership numbers don't necessarily correlate.
Right.
Is what I'm getting at.
It's weird. It's weird. Okay, before we get into notes, I like to give us a if there's something that big is happening around this time period or anything like that, I like to bring it up. And unfortunately, we're at a big one.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was so big, there's an entire newsletter on July 2nd, 2007 devoted to it, essentially, because there's no TNA notes in that. And that was because this is when Chris Benoit's double murder-suicide happened. And he died on June 21st, or 24th, excuse me, 2007, after he did not show up to that Vengeance show that we were talking about last week. So that is in the title of a lot of the newsletters at this time because it's kind of big fucking news. We're obviously not going to really talk much about it, but wanted to at least mention it to about where we're at. And
Yeah.
I think, Bob, you mentioned it last week because that was when Sherry Martel passed away. And we were like, well, that seems like that might have gotten overshadowed because of what we were going to mention this week. So,
Yeah, I mean it's a little weird feeling to just casually mention a double
I know.
murder suicide and then being like, by the way, we're not going to really talk about it. We won't go into the depths of it. But I will say, now when Eddie died in 2005, I remember waking up at like 6 a.m. and sneaking onto my sister's laptop because I wanted to see the results of some show. I think maybe even like Genesis or something. And on WrestleView.com, the big like news thing was Eddie Guerrero found dead, and I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Eddie Guerrero's dead. Fast forward to 2007, and I'm like on my own computer at this time, filled with viruses from LimeWire, and I am just going through various wrestling news cycles, and I remember it being like, "Oh, Benoit hasn't shown up for the show. Haven't heard from him." Blah blah blah. And then I think it was Monday morning. It was officially announced, like, "Oh, by the way, Chris Benoit's dead, and his family is too." And then they had the whole like tribute thing.
No, well, so that was by like Tuesday because Monday it was just like, oh, he. Oh, well, no, you're right, because then we found out why.
Right. So they knew he was dead, but
That's right.
we didn't know why. Like, I think they found out like kind of in the middle of the tribute show. Like, wait a minute. Uh-oh. It might have been not what we think it was. Like, he might have fucking killed like his family. And then Tuesday was like, oh boy. And then that's when on the ECW on Sci-Fi, I think Vince kind of acknowledges, like, we didn't have all the details and we apologize for whatever. But yeah, that was just a whole crazy.
Yeah, it was a crazy time. Your Eddie thing, I think I found out on the radio on the way to school, which was like really weird. I don't remember. I wonder if I don't know if I found out about the Benoit one until the special aired. I don't really remember, to be honest. I just remember it being like, this is a really big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that happened the week of my high school graduation. Like the week after or whatever.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I just graduated high school. And yeah, that was just really bizarre.
Yeah, really crazy. But yeah.
I don't know what's crazier, that or in 2011 when Randy Savage died. And
that shit was crazy.
And my dad was like, "Hey, Bob, you remember Macho Man Randy Savage?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh." I go, "Why?" And he goes, "Oh, he just died." I'm like,
oh, okay, just did, huh?
What? What are you talking about? And he's like, "Yeah, it's on the news." And they have this whole thing on, like, I think Fox News or something. And this says Randy Savage dead. I'm like, oh my god, you can't be doing this to me. Yeah. Crazy
times. Well, on to some TNA stuff, I guess.
They won't make reference to that on the show, obviously. There's no way.
I would be absolutely stunned.
Especially now with like knowing what's going on. There's no way.
Right, no. Because this is we're on the 28th, so we know by now. So I'd be stunned.
Well, post production they could fuck up.
They could. I feel like
I
we would have known about that though, and I feel like
yeah,
we're probably safe.
I wonder if Tanay seems like the type of guy that would maybe potentially reference it on commentary. You know, the
Mm,
recent happenings, like we send our condolences out to the families of
yeah.
so and so, but I don't know.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Mike Tenay because I actually have a note about him, um, which not necessarily a great note, but while everyone in wrestling had a horrible week, as previously mentioned,
Mm.
apparently Mike Tenay has had a nightmarish month. So, besides being close with Jeff Jarrett and being with Jeff after the death of his wife, having to relive it by introducing those video packages on Jill Jarrett, and he was also very close to Benoit from WCW over the weekend. His 43-year-old brother-in-law also passed away. He had been excited about the TNA show that would air on June 28th. He was one of many who thought the Angle versus Christian versus Rhino match live was among one of the best matches in company history. So we might be in for a treat here, Bob. Well, then Tanay had to fly to Detroit, and he was there as his brother-in-law was dying. And after his death, he flew to Nashville to do the voiceovers for the show, and got a phone call from Hector Guerrero about Benoit. The voiceover sessions took place the next day. So, Mike Tanay's got a lot going on,
Okay,
unfortunately.
so that's crazy that you're telling me that. So they didn't do commentary live. They do voiceover.
Well, I'm wondering if there's other. I don't know. We haven't seen the show, so maybe they didn't. So this
Oh,
ep- so
so
it could be. I would assume I would assume that they're calling the matches live, but maybe there's other pieces they add in, stuff like that. I don't know. Well, I mean, this episode we're gonna know, I guess, and see kind of what happens. But yeah. Next up, remember last week we talked about Conan and Ron Killings walking out. They left the company. Very timely.
yeah,
Ron Killings, he's big in wrestling here in 2025. He just
yeah,
got released. He's back now. Did you see?
yeah. So I saw that, and I've seen people who are pissed because they didn't know. What? Like, why are you mad? Like, oh, I can't believe we didn't fucking know our truth was rehired or whatever. It's like, it's wrestling. Don't you want to be surprised?
I saw the clip online and I was like, that's pretty good.
It's good. Yeah. I mean,
I thought it was great.
I would never be sitting here being like, if I was watching the show and our truth came out and did that, I wouldn't think, oh, wow, this is bullshit. They didn't fucking tell me he was going to be here. I'm pissed.
Well, and apparently they're calling him Ron Killings all of a sudden instead of our
Yeah, I
truth.
did see that. I did see
Also very interesting.
that. Yeah.
He's a former world champion.
He is. Just imagine though watching like the first Nitro in '95 and Lex Luger comes out.
And then
You
being
didn't know.
mad because you didn't know about it.
Right. And you're just like, what the fuck? Man, they didn't tell me Lex Luger signed with WCW. I'm pissed. This is bullshit. I'm like, no, dude. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
work that
insane.
way. And then you have like the Sean Ross Sapp and guys like this who are saying like, it was legit, whatever. And I'm sure, it could be, it could not be. Who cares? Okay. Like it's wrestling. Um like Penzer's getting in on it. He's all like,
Oh,
it's a
dude,
fucking
there's so
work.
much.
It's a
There's
fucking
so much.
work. And then I actually screenshotted something and like, listen, we interviewed Penzer and he's a good guy. All this stuff, but he goes, he said something about he was like talking to somebody else and he like lumps himself in with like Triple H, Eric Bischoff, Bully Ray.
Oh, I saw that actually.
And he goes, and somebody else goes like, it's kind of ludicrous to suggest that like you're in the same like ballpark as like Eric Bischoff or whatever. And he goes, I'm not sure if it's highly more significant. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, pretty sure it's pretty significant. That,
Right. Well,
with all due respect, I mean, David Penzer, you were doing ring announcing, not changing the way that professional wrestling is depicted on national television.
fair points. Before I get into this note, we were just talking about the name change thing. On my feed right now, according to the Wrestling Observer, he specifically asked to be changed to Ron Killings in this new deal that just like quickly came together. So he's not. So he was like, I don't want to be R-Truth anymore. I want to be Ron Killings. So
I wonder if that means he's not going to be a comedy character.
I'm wondering that too. It's so that when he does end up leaving, the name will already been established on TV and he can keep using it. So it's pretty interesting.
I mean,
Smart move.
people should know pretty well that Ron Killings and R-Truth are the same person.
You would expect that to be the case,
especially if they're advertising them. They'd be like, "Oh, it's Ron," and you look at it, but oh, that's fucking R-Truth. Okay, I'll go.
You would assume that, but I don't think if you're in the bubble.
That's true. I mean, and that's
I don't know if you do.
You're right. No, you're right. Because what's crazy, and I don't know if we talked about it on the show or not. I know we talked about it off air. When you see like Dante Toro, who I follow on Twitter,
yeah,
he's branching out and watching various matches outside of the WWE bubble. Now I'm sure there's people out there that are probably making fun of him for having these reactions to great matches that he's never seen before. But I think it's great when people take the time, whether it's new, whether it's a big Japan, New Japan promotion, whether it's that or if you watch a lower indie company that not a whole lot of people know about. There's a lot. What people don't realize, especially when you're in the WWE bubble, is that there is a lot of professional wrestling out there. A lot. So your favorites of like AJ Styles or Kevin Owens or Seth Rollins, whatever the case is, it's almost like a shock to people when they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize that Seth Rollins and Tyler Black are the same person." Mm-hmm. And he wrestled in Ring of Honor for 5 years and had incredible matches in front of 600 people in Chicago Ridge or whatever, Berwyn, Illinois. I think it's fascinating. I hope that the Dante Toro guy watches indie matches in fucking small ass arenas and truly kind of appreciate where these guys came from and where they are now.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty cool to see. And now maybe he will learn who Ron Killings is.
Yeah, well, yeah, I hope so. I just hope that and I'll always bring this up whenever I can. Now he was part of Stash Club Wrestling, the YouTube channel, which is it was fine. But his co-host guy, who I'm not really a fan of, John, there was like a trivia thing, and I will never forget. It was clearly the New World Order's music, NWO, and he guessed Rikishi.
Oh my lord!
And I was like, "This can't be real. How do you not know that?"
Oh my god!
There's no way.
Maybe it was a bet.
I don't think so, man.
Maybe.
It would be like you hearing "Break It Down," right? And you go, "Oof, I think that's Ken Shamrock." No, dude, that's not Ken Shamrock's theme music. He's not coming out to break it down, suck it.
That's so funny.
Come on.
Well,
stupid.
Back to Conan and Ron Killings in TNA 2007. First off, let me get this out of the way. That Conan's kidney transplant surgery is currently scheduled for July 2nd. There are 2 donors that will be tested and provided. One of them is compatible. He will undergo the surgery. But on the case for both of them, TNA management was very bitter at Conan and Ron Killings for walking out because both wrestlers left the company still owing money for the company fronting them money for their respective hip replacement and knee surgeries. Now, in the case of Killings, that was the only real complaint. In the case of Conan, it was noted that Conan had signed a valid contract which hadn't expired and walked out before an already written television taping. Terry Taylor already contacted Conan regarding the money and they advanced him for the surgery, and there were threats made of legal action. So it might be a messy situation. I honestly, but you'd know before I would, Bob. I don't know if we've seen the end of him here or not, but
in our timeline, yes.
That's pretty crazy.
He's not coming back.
So there you go. He ain't paying that money back.
Well, he might pay the money back, but it just doesn't come back.
I would be very surprised if we ever hear a note that's like Conan has paid off his debt.
I mean, realistically, if TNA were to really follow through with the financial part, I mean, they could just potentially like garnish his like taxes, like tax returns.
Yeah, I guess it just depends
Some
on.
form of wage.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how the money was transferred and all that.
Right. I don't know.
If I hear anything else, I'll let you know.
I know I can't remember if I commented on it before, or when you mentioned it. The hip part, when he said, "Hey, this happened before I was in TNA," he should pay that back. Like, just saying that working in TNA made it worse. That's still on you though, because like you didn't get that taken care of in WCW, like you just or whatever, whenever it was. So you should just got it taken care of then. Really, and like WCW would have fucking paid that bill and not even thought twice about it. Like they should.
Oh right, absolutely.
The kidney issue, that is like his own health, and as an employer, I feel like that's something that TNA could have probably taken care of.
That's fair.
That's how I see it. in that line of business, like you probably should be like, hey, we'll help you out so you don't die.
Yeah, right.
You know?
I have one more note, and then I'll have a couple quick hits for the show. But one more note besides the house show notes that I will turn it over to Bob before I speak to. But Frank Wycheck got almost universal praise, both for how he acted outside the ring as well as how he performed inside the ring. One top TNA star said that he knew Wycheck was going to be good even before the reports. He was practicing very hard because of how much respect he had for wrestling when he was backstage. Now, Wycheck said doing pro wrestling was a dream of his since he was a kid, and Jerry Lynn and Kurt Angle working hard in giving him the crash course on it, and James Storm also trained with him on it. So apparently it was very well received. So pretty fun.
Yeah, good for him. I wonder if we'll see Frank again.
I'm wondering, because honestly, like, as far as celebrity appearances that we've seen, it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was bad. No. The Cradle Pile Driver he did was fucking dangerous.
Yeah, it sure was.
It was certainly a convincing finishing move, for sure.
Oh, yeah. If I was Jerry Lynn, I don't know if I would have taught him that one, but hey, they did it.
Jerry probably sitting there going, oh, he did better than me.
Yeah, right, literally.
Like, he really spiked him on that one. Yeah. All right, is this where I go into my house shows or what?
Yeah, dude, talk about some house shows, and I'll have some stuff to chime in afterwards about them as well.
All right, so I'll run down the results here. On June 21st, I don't know if I know how to pronounce this, Hyannis?
I was hoping you were going to say it right first so that I don't have to say it again, but...
Hyannis.
I don't know if that's... Hyannis is what I'm going to pretend it is.
Okay, Hyannis, Massachusetts. It's probably so wrong. At the Cape Cod Melody Tent, assuming that's outside? I don't know. According to Cage Match, the attendance is approximately 650. And here, well, let me actually get to the results, not just the card. Here are the results of the show. Eric Young defeating Robert Roode. A TNA World Tag Team #1 contendership 5-way match saw LAX defeating the Naturals, Serotonin, which was having a murder. Wow, okay. Brother Runt and Lance Hoyt and the team of Kaz and Rhino. Whoa, okay. Jay Lethal defeating Christopher Daniels. Chris Harris and Gail Kim defeated Jackie Moore and James Storm. TNA X Division champion Samoa Joe defeated AJ Styles to retain the title. Abyss defeated Tomko. The NWA World Tag Team champions, did I say NWA? TNA World Tag Team champions Team 3D defeated LAX to retain the titles. And the TNA World Heavyweight champion Kurt Angle defeated Christian Cage to retain the title there.
Okay.
On June... Oh, go ahead.
Wait. So that Samoa Joe match is fascinating to me because that show is airing the same time as the show where he wins the title. So, I mean, I guess they're not watching the TV show, but if he comes out, because Impact airs 9 to 10. This
Right.
show, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. I'm surprised they'd have him come out with a title and do a title match like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. People wouldn't be watching it.
So that's weird. They
And
would have been so confused.
They would have to
Unless,
be.
I mean, I haven't read these notes again in a while, but I wonder if there was mention of, hey, there was an announcement. I don't see one. I don't know. Just weird. I just thought that really just threw me off when you read it.
Yeah. And there'd be no way, like, on your phone to be like, "Oh, I'm watching the show," because like, I don't think that was a thing.
Right.
2007. There's no way you're
Right.
streaming
No
that
way.
anything. So.
Well, here, since I made you pause anyways, one of my notes is about this first show in Hyannis, or whatever we're calling it. I also have the number of 650, just to confirm that. So a couple of the random things I have is like the Naturals being on these house shows, which I think we talked about last week a little bit. It's just like
Yeah,
weird.
that's weird, but also Brother Runt.
Brother Runt is really interesting as well.
That's a very bizarre one.
Yeah, it's very weird. So speaking of that, Dave mentions like who for some reason were fired long ago by TNA, but seem to be working more TNA house shows than a lot of the guys who are on television. It's noted that the Kaz and Jay Lethal match was the best on the show, and everyone loved Jay Lethal's gimmick.
Wait, but that wasn't the match? Jay Lethal fought Christopher
Oh,
Daniels.
Okay, Bob. I have skipped ahead, but it is not noted in my note that he's talking about a different house show. So I'm going to let you finish, and then we're just going to go back to it, I guess, because
Okay.
he literally, I'm looking at it right now, there is no separation from in highness to going to talk about a different one. So I apologize. I'm going to let you keep going.
Okay, cool. So let's go to June 22nd, Cohasset, Massachusetts. The approximate attendance for this is 500. Eric Young defeating Robert Roode. The Naturals defeating Serotonin. So the Naturals won a match on the house shows, but are not on television. Okay, interesting. Jay Lethal defeating Kaz. Rhino defeated Christopher Daniels. 6-man tag match here. Team 3D, which is obviously Devon, Ray, and now Brother Runt, defeating LAX and Lance Hoyt. Chris Harris and Gail Kim defeated Jackie Moore and James Storm. TNA X Division champion Samoa Joe defeating AJ Styles to retain the title. And in the main event, Abyss teaming up with Kurt Angle to defeat Christian Cage and Tomko. Now that is a bit interesting because, I mean, Kurt Angle essentially turned heel on Impact. Like, fully switched gears.
He turned heel, and Abyss is a babyface right now.
Right. So that is...
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe they knew he was going to get cheered, so they just were like, we'll just throw it in there.
That could very well be true. June 23rd, Lincoln, Rhode Island, at the Twin River Casino Event Center. The approximate attendance is 1,000 people. Eric Young defeated Robert Roode. LAX defeated Serotonin and the Naturals in a 3-way tag team match. Jay Lethal defeating Kaz. Brother Runt defeated Lance Hoyt. James Storm defeated Chris Harris. Abyss defeated Christopher Daniels. Rhino defeated AJ Styles. And in the main event, TNA World Tag Team Champions Team 3D defeated Christian Cage and Tomko. And our final house show to take note of here. June 24th, Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, at the Casino Ballroom. 700 fans in attendance. Here are the results as I click on it again. Eric Young and Jay Lethal defeated Kaz and Robert Roode. Gail Kim defeated Miss Brooks. Brother Runt defeated Lance Hoyt. LAX defeated the Naturals and Serotonin in a 3-way tag team match. The TNA World Tag Team Champions Team 3D defeated AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Chris Harris defeated James Storm. Tomko defeated Rhino. And in the main event, which is not noted as being a championship match, Kurt Angle defeated Christian Cage. Now, I will say before you get into your notes, I do like how none of those shows are the exact same card or the same result.
I was just thinking that as you were reading it. There's a couple like crossover moments. A couple of the matches happen the same, but like it's different enough that if like you're close enough to some of these and you happen to go to another one, I mean that's not bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool too.
Because like WWE, you could look at their house shows for a month and it's the same lineup, the same result, in the same order.
Absolutely.
All the way through.
Okay, so as far as my notes, I have all the same attendance numbers except for that Hampton Beach, the last one, and that's because there's 713 people. Very specific.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 700, but there's 713, dude.
Right. I know.
Right.
I know. And it does look like, so that note I started to read that I was talking about a match that you didn't even read yet, actually was about that Rhode Island one. I see it now. I was looking for the Cohasset, and now I see Rhode Island. So I was speaking to apparently about the Rhode Island. The way he wrote this was not very easy to follow. It's in a giant paragraph. But I already said it, but they said it was the best match on that show, Lethal and Kaz, and everyone loves the whole Macho Man gimmick that he's doing. They mentioned about Runt pinning Hoyt in let me make sure he's talking about the same show still, I hope, in Rhode Island. And that is because Runt is from Lincoln, New Hampshire, and so they ended up putting him over. So he must be close. Although, is that talking about the Hampton Beach show? This is what I mean. It's like this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. He beat him on every show, so it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter.
But apparently the match was bad.
I don't know if the fans would even know that he's from there, because they don't ever say, "Oh, by the way, he's from New Hampshire."
Right. But the match was so bad that there's chance of we want test. You can't wrestle. People are yelling at Hoyt. Dave says, I guess they just think he's a bad test knockoff. I personally don't think he's that bad, but whatever.
No, he's not that bad. No, not at all.
Like, not at all. But whatever.
No, that's crazy.
The crowd ended up cheering for... See, now which show is this talking about? See, this is talking about that Rhode Island show.
I can see the physical, like...
Oh, yeah.
Similarities to Test, but he's not some horrible wrestler.
Yeah. The crowd
and
cheered
especially
Styles.
now, I don't mean to cut you off, but especially now to see it in 18 years later as Lance Archer. I mean, it's safe to say...
We're doing good. Yeah, we're fine.
Doing all right.
The crowd cheered for Styles more than Rhino, but it was mixed. Team 3D, you already mentioned that they did the title match against Christian and Tomko. Fans chanted TNA at the end of the show as Brother Ray did a promo saying that the Northeast is known for being the territory of that other promotion. But after tonight, Lincoln is TNA territory.
How many fans were in Lincoln?
Lincoln had 1,000. So now, just for reference, because I cut this out just for time's sake, but these shows that we were just talking about are the summer tent shows that WWE were doing, in that they took the dates from them, and they would normally draw, even when business wasn't strong, about 2,500 to 2,800 per night. And that's because apparently the local advertising in the market was said to be non-existent, as apparently they thought they could just draw off the short plugs on Spike TV and website mentions. There were no local print ads, nor ads taking out on Raw in the local market. So they just didn't promote these shows, essentially.
So WWE had the 10 shows, and then they just abandoned them, and then TNA took them?
Yeah, essentially. We heard about that a while ago, but these are these 4 shows. These 4 shows are the ones that they normally were doing. And then finally, my last part of this. They never advertised Angle or Team 3D for even being on that Hampton Beach show. I guess that's what's known as reverse false advertising. He notes that nobody cared about Storm versus Harris, which is sad considering the two most recent matches they had. Harris brought Storm to ringside and held him and allowed fans to chop him in the chest during their match. A woman slapped him right across the mouth. He wasn't happy with that at all and stopped selling for Harris and shoved her. The fans started chanting, "You hit fat chicks," apparently, at him. But Dave says apparently this was reported to be a good match. Jay Lethal and LAX were the most over on almost every show. In Hampton Beach, Angle beat Cage, and that match went 10 minutes and 1 second, and that ended with an ankle lock. It had the most heat of the show and had the dueling chants. Said to be a basic house show with no great matches. In a trivia question, Bubba noted that the Casino Ballroom was the only arena that the Dudleys worked for ECW, WWE, and TNA. And we already mentioned they retained their titles, so that's just a couple little extra tidbits about these shows for you.
I wonder if people didn't care about Storm and Harris because it wasn't like a Texas death match or something.
That very well could be it, right?
Not to say that they wouldn't have a good match without the stipulation, but I'm sure that if there was like a stipulation to it, people would be like, "Oh shit, this is going to be wild."
Keep in mind, we had the Texas Death match, really good. Then they had the King of the Mountain qualifying match, which they also kind of went crazy with. Right. So then you get a house show match, and I could understand why you'd be like, "Oh, they're going to go nuts." And then instead, they have like probably a decent wrestling match.
Yes,
and then people are like, well, I want to see blood and tables. Well, it's a house show, so.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly what I'm thinking. All right, well, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into the June... Oh, I just clicked you off. The June 28th episode of TNA Impact. If you want to watch along with us, head over to TNA Plus, or you can find it in your own personal collection. The approximate runtime for this episode is 43 minutes on the dot. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I say play, that is when the live watch will begin. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go. TNA. We are wrestling. And then it's like Kurt Angle growling like a lion at the end. Now we're getting that recap of the match champions announcement. It's funny because I keep thinking, like, why did they even have Lethal win the title? But either way, they were just going to have Samoa Joe win it to get put into the match anyway.
Right.
So I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but I feel like I would have just kept it on Sabin in that case. Because like, why give him a lame duck run of just a couple of days?
I think they wanted a cool moment to happen at Slammiversary in Nashville.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And we're going right into our video package here, or intro package is what I should say. I'm getting hyped, Bob. We have just a couple shows left before Victory Road. I shouldn't. I'm more hyped that it's a pay-per-view, not necessarily that it's Victory Road right now. Because there's nothing really to be hyped about for Victory Road. But I like that it's pay-per-views coming up. They're quick.
Quick turnaround. That just means that, but it's still Hard Justice, right? Yeah, it has to be.
It's probably right after.
Yeah, it's got to be a longer build probably towards that, I would imagine.
That's a great point. Which, I got to check my DVD collection, Bob. I was going to try to purchase the couple I'm missing as we do the shows, so I have an excuse to to get it, so I can be like, look, I have it in my hand. And Hard Justice might be the first one.
That's funny.
Okay, tonight, right here on Impact. Tonight and Down West here at the table. We're going to figure out who is joining Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Rhino Christian Cage for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. I almost just said NWA. They are former world champions. Oh, earlier today we heard from all three men. Let's see. Machines. Cold, calculating, no remorse, no regrets. Efficiency. This is a very weird video package.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of giving me WCW Saturday Night opening montage.
I know
Vibes.
exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Which, to be fair, I did like that opening montage.
It's funny because
Like,
this feels like what they would do for like the pay-per-view main event, but instead it's just like an Impact match.
yeah.
I promise no one's gonna take it away from me.
What
So
if that?
we're quote hearing from these guys, but it's kind of just like little sound bites here and there. There's
Yeah.
like kind of no substance to this, but
What if that comment by Kurt was true? What if he was still the TNA World Champion 18 years later?
that'd be pretty wild. Ooh, we're showing the NWA title. Ooh, risky.
Ooh.
I would have showed the clip of Rhino throwing the title in the garbage and lighting it on fire. Oh, he hates the TV title.
That was the ECW title, wasn't it?
Or was it the ECW one, not the TV one?
I thought so.
I don't remember what it was. We didn't see it. It was in a bag, so I guess I can't quite remember exactly what it was supposed to be, but
I'm pretty sure he I think he burned like that title, but of course he didn't.
okay, we're just going right into it here. World Heavyweight Championship. The tail of the tape here. Rhino, 6'2", 260, 13 years pro. Angle, 6 foot, 235, 8 years pro. Christian Cage, 6'2", 232, 12 years pro.
Wow, they're all pretty much even.
That is really close. Rhino has a slight weight advantage, but that helps with his gore finishing move. And Angle's slightly under the experience of both the other guys, except it's Kurt Angle, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
The War Machine, the Man Beast. What other his nicknames has he got?
War Machine, the Man Beast.
Is that it?
No, the big fucking deal.
The big fucking deal.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the Christian's video here, I thought was just him coming out in a button-up shirt. I was like, oh, what is he doing? But here he is, the instant classic. Hold on. I don't know his other nicknames.
Captain Charisma.
Captain Charisma.
People's Champ. The Instant Classic.
Future ECW champion.
The GCW champion.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too. I don't know. He used to be Trish Stratus's boyfriend.
Oh, that was good. Do you think there's a slight chance that either one of these guys is going to beat Kurt Angle? And I shouldn't say beat Kurt Angle, but they could pin each other and then end up getting into the match and being Samoa Joe's partner.
Do I think there's a chance? I mean, there's always a chance. Would I expect that to happen? No.
Are we thinking like 10% chance though? 5%? Like, I just feel like that's the thing that kind of sucks about this is like now that we know Joe's in it, I'm like, well, we'll see.
Well, I would definitely say Rhino has no chance.
Oh wow.
Realistic. I mean, just realistically, I don't think it's there. Christian
wonder-
technically still hasn't ever been pinned.
That's a really great point.
So,
I'm pretty curious to see who Team 3D faces as well, because what's a different team that could be in the match that's not Team 3D?
I'm thinking LAX.
Oh.
That's what I had to guess.
Imagine LAX wins the tag team titles, gets into this huge main event after Conan left and said that they weren't pushing LAX enough. And they're like, well, look at what we did.
Oh, look what we have here.
Oh, they won the titles and are at the main event of the show.
All right.
Oh, we're doing boxing intros here?
What if they just did an Animal and Rick Steiner rematch, and then Animal showed up again, and he was like, "I'm not doing the job."
Yeah.
And when I say I'm not doing the job, I mean my team isn't losing. I'm expecting to go to Victory Road. What? What are you talking about?
Oh man. From the Motor City. Speaking of Samoa Joe, since we were already talking about him, he was offered a 3-year contract extension, but he did not sign it.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad? That's probably not good.
It doesn't sound good.
How long? How much longer does he have on his deal now? Does it say?
Well, it does not say. That's the only part of the note. So that's a great point. How long does his deal go to that he doesn't want to extend it another 3 years?
I mean, I understand that because that is what at that point you'd be there till 2010,
Assuming it ends this year.
right? Right. I don't know. I feel like in wrestling, signing a contract for longer than like 2 years is like kind of tough for the like non tip top main eventers.
I feel like WWE always does like 5-year deals.
Yeah, I think typically it's like 3 to 5, and it's usually like option years, like for them. Like, oh yeah, we'll pick you up again. Like, whatever, no big deal. But I think in TNA, like Kurt Angle would be an exception, or Christian Cage would be an exception, where they could sign them to like an 8-year contract, and you know they're going to be in the main event
Right.
for the entire time.
Oh, look at this. JB's also introducing the first person to qualify for this champions match. And it's Samoa Joe. So Samoa Joe being out here ringside is a very interesting aspect now. Is Kurt going to be able to stay focused with someone who hates him and he hates sitting ringside?
I think I'm going to say no.
Why is he getting in the
Joe,
ring?
he thinks he's in the match.
It's a tag match now.
He's going to win the world title. He'll just team up with himself against Team 3D.
Why not?
He doesn't need a partner.
Oh, he's shaking Rhino's hand, showing the respect. He's going to shake Christian's hand, maybe? Oh, Christian gets out of the ring first. Is he going to show respect to Angle? I'm going to say no.
He would never do that.
Oh, Joe's putting his hand out. Oh, he just slapped the shit out of... Oh my god! He's beating up Kurt Angle.
Coming a mile away.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to see it already, though.
Okay, so now this is enhancing the possibility that Kurt could maybe lose the title.
I like it.
I feel like they did this because they know, like, oh, come on, people know Kurt's going to retain. But if we have Joe beat him up for a little while, maybe.
Yep, I agree. Now we're going to the crowd with Kurt and Joe, giving him headbutts. Right there against the wall again. Boom. Throwing him against cage walls, and he's dragging him by the head.
In case anybody's wondering, there aren't any indie notes for these three main eventers.
Okay. We're fighting near the concession stand.
I mean, I guess I could technically see if Samoa Joe has any.
No, why not? Okay, so Jim Cornette's out here with the whole locker room. There's Petey, Lethal, Jerry Lynn, Eric Young, getting Samoa Joe out of here. We're going commercial, and now we're back. The bell has officially rung 12 minutes, 5 seconds.
There's one bit here. On June 24th, 2007, Samoa Joe defeated Eddie Kingston for Pro Wrestling Syndicate's Revelation in Garfield, New Jersey.
There must be a winner. Hey, speaking of independent guys who were in TNA, Austin Aries returned to Ring of Honor over the past weekend after getting his official release from TNA. So we
Really?
are we are out of Austin Aries for our timeline, I believe, officially.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Aries, whatever. He was certainly more of a character than I think in ring focused guy.
Yeah, agreed.
But if you were to watch Ring of Honor,
It's the opposite.
it's the opposite. I mean, he's a good, good. He's got charisma, whatever. But he has some really great matches there. It'd be kind of similar if you were a person that's like only in the TNA bubble and you're watching Austin Star, and then you found out about Ring of Honor, and you're like, "What the fuck? Oh my
Mm,
god, this guy did what to Samoa Joe in 2004? Holy shit!"
right.
And all that type of stuff.
I think that's why I get excited when even people like leave WWE who have been there for so long. I'm like, listen, I did not like them before. Let's see what happens. Let's see what they can do. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's still bad. But
Yeah,
Curry is choking Rhino on the middle rope here. Christian's just watching.
the crowd appears to be pretty receptive to just what is going on right now. They're heavily invested potentially in this.
I mean, listen, we knock Rhino his current spot in our timeline here, but the crowd does really like him. And you got two other guys,
Right.
your former champion Christian Cage and Kurt Angle. So, I mean, this is a big match for the people in the Impact Zone, I feel like.
I would definitely agree with you that the Orlando crowd certainly has a support here for Rhino that not many wrestlers necessarily have. Um, I think for me, it just kind of gets frustrating when you see Rhino and he usually loses the big
Hmm.
match.
Right.
But I like Rhino. I do. I mean, I do like Rhino. It may sound like I don't, but I do.
Well, he already showed Christian Cage, who tried to go up and over, but Rhino caught him, slams him down, and goes for the cover, but Kurt breaks it up. Rudy Charles is our referee here, which shouldn't be a surprise because it's a world title match. I feel like Rudy is usually the guy.
Now, you know what's really funny, and I'm going to look this up before I say it. But there is potential here to be like a major deep cut to add a level of intrigue into this match. But I'm gonna double check this before I say it. Thank
Well,
God I'm
Kurt
right.
gives
Okay.
Rhino a gutbuster.
So what if I told you, Dallas? Now, of course, we know about the Rhino and Christian Cage feud in late 2006 and the battles that they had. But what if I were to tell you that in 2001, when Rhino broke his neck, his last match was against Kurt Angle?
Oh, shit. That's pretty crazy.
So, revenge. I don't think Kurt broke his neck, but you know.
They just mentioned something very interesting on commentary, and I was pointing because there's a vote on the TNA mobile app. Who do you want to see face Team 3D next week? It said LAX. I already forgot what the second spot said because I was listening to you. And then the third spot said The Naturals. And they just said on commentary, the top two teams that get voted get the match. So it sounds like it's a three-way tag match because we're doing
Naturals
three-way
are
matches.
not.
Right. It's not going to be the Naturals. So
That's such a slap in the face to be like the
that is
Naturals.
so
Like,
that's
come
dirty.
on, why do that? Who would have been? Uh, who would have been the other team?
And I should have paid attention to that part more than, but I was so stuck on the Naturals, and LAX is easy to remember. I wouldn't be surprised if they mention it again. Oh, grabs and Rhino and crotches him on the ring post. Christian Cage does, I should say. Oh, Kurt Angle gets sent into the ring post as he was going for like a spear. Christian Cage drops down the champion, goes for the cover. That relationship between Kurt Angle and Christian Cage is fleeting. Here's one, here's two, and then it's a shoulder up by Angle.
Okay, I looked it up. I know the other team,
Oh, okay.
and it's a continuity issue.
Uh-oh.
They said they would never team again.
Oh, is it shoot. Is it Style and Daniels?
Yeah.
Well, they were just on the house show together too.
Right. But on TV though, you're breaking continuity.
Very interesting. Okay, now you got me thinking though. What if this is where they bring back Triple X? And they do a tag team. Although you almost can't. Because I want to see Skipper and Daniels, and if we were talking about this last week when we heard this, you can't do that.
You cannot.
They need to either be a trio or it's got to be Senshi.
Yep.
And Daniels. Don't like it.
Now here's the thing: a way you could potentially go around it is that they had disbanded because of the NWA aspect, not TNA.
That's true, and also I feel like you could play into. I don't know. I have this like weird thing of like, well, what if since like Skipper she's gone, it's a new contract, blah blah blah. That was
sure,
which kind of could be the NWA thing too. That's like what I thought about with like the. This is now more current day Frog Splash to break up the pin by Christian, and now instead he goes to pin Angle. He also gets a 2 count though. But like when Cody decided, okay, I'm gonna not get a shot at the AEW World Title 2 months into the promotion's life, essentially. I was like, there's got to be a workaround here. Like, it's got to be a contract thing. They could like pretend like, oh, that was my old contract. I got a new one, or whatever. Or hypothetically, if he ever returned, I think they could do that. But
I feel like he has to return, and then he can be like, I finished one story, and I gotta finish another.
And then he'd whoa.
He has to. And the best way to do it is if he came back and he beat like MJF for the title. The guy that
honestly, that'd be pretty solid.
And you beat it full circle.
We are over 20 minutes into the show, and we are still on this one match here. Rhino shoulder block into the corner to Christian Cage. He's got control of the match now. 21 minutes on the dot here. We just saw a Victory Road highlight package thing to pipe up the show. Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah, which former tag team? Oh, yeah, Styles Daniels. I knew they would show it again. Text A, B, or C to 76,000.
What if the Naturals had won that vote?
Well, that would be wild. They might as well just put the diamonds in the rough in that.
Diamonds in the rough.
As D.
We have the new church. You guys wanna see them? Flash and Sin?
That's so funny. But the Victory Road thing. So talking about pay-per-views, TNA is planning to have all 12 pay-per-view shows in 2008 outside of Orlando. The next one outside of Orlando currently will be Bound for Glory in October, with no city decided upon at this point. Is the original choice of Chicago is running into some snags. So he wanted it in Chicago. It's probably not going to happen, but that's the next one outside of the Impact Zone.
I can't remember if 2008 if they have all of them outside of Orlando.
I'm going to be very surprised if that is the case.
I know there are a bunch that are for sure outside of Orlando, but I don't know if all of them.
We got the ankle locked in on Christian Cage right now. Now, Cage has not been pinned. Has he submitted? Will he submit? Oh, Rhino just rolled up Kurt. Oh my god, he almost just stole the title.
The fans are rambunctious right now. And this is like visually, you can tell that they're definitely into this. This is not a dub. Oh no, Rhino's in the ankle lock.
Ankle lock. And then, he had it on Rhino. Christian came over, and now he's got double ankle lock. Who's going to tap first? Counter. They both flip angle over.
Oh my god, Rhino and Christian can be friends? I lied. Double clothesline.
There's no way. I don't buy it.
TNA. TNA. TNA.
Oh, we have a triple down.
Laid out.
Look at it. Sounds like it's another time for a no. I only have two more, anyways. There's a movie called DOA, Dead or Alive, which included Kevin Nash as one of its main stars. It opened on June 15th and took in $260,713 in a limited release in its first weekend. Apparently, it cost $21 million to make, so that makes The Condemned look like a success, is what it is referencing. So that is not great.
That's not good.
No.
I mean, I know it's a limited release, but oof.
It's not good. Christian and Rhino up on the top rope here. I'm just gonna give you my last note after this big German suplex by Angle, just because then I don't have to keep looking at my iPad while I'm thinking about it. Oh, Kurt runs up to the top rope, belly to belly to Christian off the top. Let's see, he's going for the cover. One, two.
No.
No. Okay, finally. The company's next TV golden opportunity is apparently going to be around August 27th, when Raw will be airing from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the USA Network. Dave says that TNA needs to run a live special from 9 to 11 p.m. on Spike that night and advertise it. The last time Raw wasn't on during its normal time, TNA put on a special of best matches that was poorly produced, not advertised, and drew a disappointing number.
I'm prettier. 1, 2. Oh man, Kurt kicked out maybe. I don't know. That was close.
That was really close.
We might need a replay on that one. You know what? TNA should do a special on that day. Why not?
Yeah,
I've always agreed with that. Doing a best of like, the best pay-per-view matches. Like, who fucking cares? I'm not gonna watch that. That shit already happened.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Sometimes they'll still do that. Or, like, randomly in the middle of an episode of Impact, it'll be like, this is what happened at Rebellion last year. And I'm like, no, we are skipping this.
Hey, who cares?
Clothesline off the top.
Oh, 2 count. Again, Angle's doing really good with these fake, these near falls.
Yeah, he needs to stop being so good at lifting his shoulder off the mat. He's got to do just the punch up like Jarrett does.
Right.
Rhino going for maybe a Boston Crab. Oh yeah, he's got it in. Will Kurt submit? Oh my god, Kurt! Oh, he let go just to stop Christian on the apron.
Oh my god.
Oh, going for the gore.
Angle slam. Or Olympic slam. 1, 2. Right.
Oh my god.
What in the world? Right, okay. Uh-oh. Christian has grabbed a table.
Oh, it's
there are no qualifications in a triple threat, I guess, technically. Oh, yeah. Don't break the legs there. There you go.
There must be a winner. It's a world title match, so now we have a table in the ring, because why not? I'm okay with it. Crowd is chanting, "We want tables," slapping onto the Victory Road poster that is taped to the guardrail, and I didn't get a good look at it, so I don't know what it is. Rhino face first to Christian on the table, and now
Who's
Rhino
going
is
through
setting
that?
up the table in the corner.
Who's going to go through that? Is Rhino going to go through it?
Very well could. Oh, and there we go. Christian is breaking the eyes of Rhino, going to put him through it, maybe? Nope, he slams him down. By his hair. Christian starts stomping Angle, choking him at his throat with his boot. Oh god.
Oh, no.
The monster Abyss is coming out.
Abyss heard no disqualification, and he's like, I'm in.
I'm bringing the tax out. Oh, he's going after Christian. Oh, don't forget, Bob. Last week we did see that Mitchell's new monster is coming soon.
Yeah, but now is this their way of getting Christian out of the match, and now it's this Angle and Rhino?
Kind of looks like that, doesn't it? Oh my god, we're back, and Christian and Abyss are brawling to the production truck.
Let me in the production truck.
He just got thrown against a wall, and he fell in between the cooler and the wall. It's probably so heavy, dude. Full of ice.
Yo, he's going to drown him in a cooler.
I mean, he did literally slam him on the ice. I'm not really quite sure what that does, but...
I don't know, have you ever had ice to the forehead?
Fair point. Overhead belly to belly suplex Kurt to Rhino.
Kick out. This just sending Cage into not a dumpster, but it looks kind of like a dumpster. Oh, it is a dumpster.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either, to be honest.
Well, the way that's like tilted, it doesn't look like a dumpster. Who's not putting their trash in the dumpster? They're just putting it to the side? Oh no, a plastic bin. Oh, he moved.
Hey, that's a heavy plastic bin.
That's plastic, though.
But why are they doing the garbage right there? And why is the dumpster tilted? Oh, here's Tomko and Styles, the Christian Coalition.
Maybe it's supposed to be like attached to a truck or something. I don't know.
Oh, you know what? It does look like that, actually. You're right. It has wheels.
It has wheels. Yeah.
Oh, they're
a plastic
Abyss.
guard railing. Oh my god.
Well, we're back in the ring. Angle looks like he's trying to line up Rhino with that table. But Rhino has countered into the turnbuckle here, and German.
Release.
That's right.
One.
Okay, they have just said this is now the longest Impact match ever.
Abyss is getting manhandled. Abyss is really not. He doesn't have the best of luck here.
There will be a winner tonight.
Right to the back.
Well, don't forget, you can now purchase Destination X 2007 on DVD, Elevation X, Samoa Joe's first World Heavyweight title shot, Sting and Abyss in the Last Rites match, which is arguably one of my least favorite matches I've seen.
You don't think that seeing Abyss get hit by plastic weapons is kind of like, it's not going to hurt him?
I mean, the best part of the match was when Sting almost lost an eye because he got hit with the candelabra and it sliced his eyelid. And that's, like, not great. But it was the best part of the match.
That's true. They're really going to go the whole show, it looks like here, folks.
It does seem like that, doesn't it?
Belly to belly by Rhino.
Lining up the door.
He's ready, dude.
My God, is he going to go through the table? Oh shit! Kurt Angle gored through the table. Gore, gore, gore. And we get a
Fans are probably
replay.
thinking, fans are probably
And
thinking, oh my
another
God,
replay.
Rhino's going to win the title.
Right.
Rhino's going to be the TNA World Champion again. Well, technically the first time because NWA title, but whatever. Oh, Christian's back.
Oh wow. Honestly, I wasn't sure if we were going to see him again or not.
I did not think for a second he was going to be back.
Oh
No,
my
who
god,
pulled it up?
Chris
Oh, Chris
Harris.
Harris.
Oh wow.
What the fuck is Chris Harris doing out here?
Because Christian Cage feels that Harris cost him the title, so he kind of called him
That's
out.
right. That's right. Well, he's for sure costing him now.
Yeah. Oh, he whips Christian Cage into the steel steps
God.
knees first.
And I wonder if Harris technically came down the heel ramp. Just throwing it out there.
Well, that's okay because it's just a run-in.
Yeah, but that could be his true intentions.
Victory Road poster, by the way, is Gail Kim, and on the side it looks to be AJ Styles, Abyss, and Kurt Angle.
Well, oh yeah, that's definitely AJ on the right side.
That's a weird poster, but it's kind of cool, so we'll take it. Rhino covering Kurt, and that's barely a kick out.
Kurt is really kind of close on these near falls.
Tomko and AJ now going after Harris. We are under the 10 minutes left in this show, Mark. Okay, so Christian Cage has a chance to get back into this now that the Christian Coalition once again has his back. Oh god, the Monster Abyss is back.
The Abyss woke up.
Goes right to AJ Styles. Throws him against the guardrail.
Oh.
He just hit his face up against it. He's going after Tomko, and Christian stops him in his tracks. The numbers game is too much for the Monster. I like Christian going after Harris, which he's like laid out completely. He's like, fuck it, I gotta choke this guy real quick. Wait. Oh my god, it's Sting!
I was going to say, we need somebody like Sting out here to make the save, and sure enough, here he is.
Oh, Tomko's busted. That makes me think that one was hard way, maybe? Because I didn't even see what would have made him bleed, so he must have banged his head on something. I don't know if I've ever seen Tomko bleed, have we? I don't know.
He didn't bleed in the match with Abyss? He had to.
That's what... I don't know if he did. I don't know. It looks good on bald guys. You know what I mean? Wait, we're all in the ring. We're back from a commercial. Everyone is in the ring.
Why would Cornette be pulling his hair? It's no disqualification.
Because this match has turned out into an all-out brawl.
Well, put him in a cage. Come on.
Abyss and Tomko at it now. He's moving everyone out of the way. Slams him on the timekeeper's table.
I thought the timekeeper was going to hit Tomko with his freaking ring bell or hammer.
That's a steel chair to the back. Sting is going after Styles. Bob, we could be potentially seeing like all of the matches for Victory Road falling into place before our eyes.
Tomko, Abyss again. AJ and Sting would be very interesting.
Kind of interesting, right? Harris and Cage.
Harris and Cage. That makes sense, yeah.
I kind of don't hate any of these matches if this is what the direction is.
Rhino and Storm, if Rhino doesn't win.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. Okay, I kind of like all of those matches on paper.
Oh.
Abyss is brawling with a bloodied Tomko up in the crowd, and he's teetering off the edge of the balcony, but it looks like Abyss. Oh my god, there's just blood everywhere. Look at Abyss's hand. It's now on the entire railing.
Yeah, no kidding. There's got to be some kind of like health code violations going on here,
2007, that was not a thing, so we're good.
right? I'm sure there wasn't any kind of health codes.
Angle has Rhino just where he wants him. He's wearing him down with that chin lock. Rhino is fading quick. Oh, he's passed out, so that's one arm drop. That's two. Oh my god. Is this it? No! No!
Could you imagine winning with a sleeper?
Yeah, right.
That like hardly ever happens anymore.
Standing room only. Everyone's on their feet. T-shirt guy is back, so you know all is right.
It is.
Off the ropes, Angle gets caught in fireman's carry. TKO by Rhino.
TKO. I'm going to give credit to the crowd here. They have been fired up this entire time.
Yeah. We are 38 minutes and 32 seconds into this, and it's been almost entirely this match. I think the first like 7-ish minutes weren't, but holy shit, dude.
I don't even know if Kurt kicked out in time on that one.
That was insane. I don't know, dude. This match just kind of make me feel like Rhino's getting some steam in the main event scene again. He can definitely hold his own here.
He for sure can, but the problem is that he's got to like win it. He's got to win a big match.
Right. Irish whip countered. Rhino throws Kurt into the corner. Gets met with an elbow, though.
It kind of feels like, to an extent, Rhino is like the Orlando version of what Ron Killings was for Nashville.
Mm.
You know, I mean, Ron had a longer run the first time, but you know, they're just banking on, oh, Rhino had the belt for 2 weeks, so now he's just automatically a threat to win the title.
I know exactly what you mean. Uh-oh. Belly to belly off the top again.
Cover
Overhead release, belly to belly.
Oh, Rhino kicks out.
Holy shit.
I mean, this has been a very good match.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun.
Even with like the interference brawling, it's been good.
Christian is just gone at this point. Don't know where he is, but Spinebuster by Rhino.
Cover him. 1, 2. Oh,
holy crap.
Even on a spine buster, he's like, oh, baby. Oh, my lord. Rhino, what do you have to do, my man?
TNA.
Oh, no. Kurt got the ankle lock. Now, if Kurt gets a body scissors or leg scissors, it could be over.
How much more can a man give? Well past the 40-minute mark of this world title match. Now, that is, of course, including the commercial breaks.
Commercials.
Oh, caught belly to belly by Rhino to Kurt this time. Oh, he's going to line him up for the gore. If he hits this, dude. Oh my god, James Storm. Oh, he's pouring beer on him again.
No.
Oh, he spit it in his face.
Oh, no.
Olympic slam. And that is a 3. Kurt Angle retains. Damn. Well, that just solidified that match.
It sure did. Listen, that was a great TV match, I'd say. There was a lot going on there.
Yeah, that was crazy. We just watched an entire Impact that was one match, Bob.
Right. But they intertwined a bunch of like things. That way it wasn't just solely the match, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I want to see James Storm get murdered now by Rhino.
Dude, he's getting big time heat.
I want to see that. That's the thing I want to see now.
Oh, we know that we're going to learn the teams that are going to face Team 3D before we go off air, which we're seeing our general rush package because we have probably calculated the votes, which, Bob, just as a reference point, the show is taped, so it's very clear that the voting is rigged. Because the Naturals weren't going to win, even if the voting was real. I hate to say it.
Where is it? It's bullshit.
So I wonder who it's going to be.
Adrenaline rush, yeah.
And the next episode of Impact. Yeah, there you go. LAX and Styles and Daniels.
I can't believe that. That's incredible. I think we need a recount. Look up the numbers. I think the Naturals won. They had a fucking video package, everything lined up that quickly. Give me a fucking break.
I know.
It's bullshit.
Well, I don't want to speak for you, Bob, but that's a thumbs up for me, and I feel pretty good about saying that, and I feel like you probably feel similar. Yeah,
that's gonna get a thumbs up.
How fun of an episode of Impact. Very unexpected, but that's why I liked it so much, I think. So I'm here for it. I like when they do stuff like this. We didn't expect to just watch a 40-minute match, and we did.
Yeah, I mean, that was... I didn't like last week's, right?
You were in the middle.
Okay, I was in the middle, yeah. So that was definitely better than last week, for sure.
I love how they intertwined everything. I think we essentially know all of our big matches. I would be very surprised if those weren't all singles matches leading to the show at Victory Road. But I guess we have 2 more weeks, so you never know what's going to happen. There could be a town hall or whatever they do, the team meetings.
Yeah, I guess you never do know. Yeah, all right. So that was that was good. It was a good episode. We're gonna be right back at it though next week. We would have just celebrated 4th of July. It's the July 5th episode of Impact, and we already know potentially the only match on the show. It could be another 40-minute match. Who knows? Maybe for the TNA World Tag Team titles. Team 3D defending against LAX and AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. With one of the 3 teams then being officially in the Victory Road main event. So, there's that.
Time will tell.
You got anything else, Dallas, or no?
I don't think I do. I'm ready for Victory Road-ish. I'm not going to say I'm fully ready yet, because I need to know more matches. But we are getting there, and this episode made me excited to see what else is going to be in store for us.
Yeah, my interest of learning what could potentially be on the show is better than what it was last week.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, join us for the after Independence Day episode of Impact next week. So until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Across the Line podcast.
I'm fed up, dismissing the competition. You're hopeless, I'll trash their ambition. Listen, you want a class on tradition? On one condition, forget the best of the century. Talk about the best of all time, you better mention me. Essentially, I'm the best there's ever gonna be. I hold my ground, you never take it from under me. Don't front of me, it's gonna be trouble. I hit you so many times, you see triple or double instead of one of me. I got more heart, more ways to tear you apart. I'll lay you down early on, or maybe in the later round. It's no different to me. If you tap out, cash out, or simply pass out for 3. Cause you face down, really, barely alive. Cause I'm an animal inside, hear me? I'm what the game is supposed to be. Hopefully you see what I mean. Knock you out, have a scene. You were beaten by a triple team. Box you out the whole scene and gleam. The limelight's my dream. I shine bright. Smash you front to back. You gon' need hindsight. In fact, when I attack, you're lucky if I leave you intact. I'm prone to overkill. I work you over till I steal your motor skills. It's the same whenever I'm done. You're numb, toe to thumb. And most can't remember their names or where they're from. And some speechless, stunned, looking deaf and dumb. You're weak like 7 days. Dead afraid, I'm amazed. What? Y'all still step up because I hit more men than Jenna Jameson in better days. You can't clear your heads, you with a Jenna Hayes. The man, you got him, and you can spot him every Thursday night on TNA. It's like a spotlight and main events in his DNA. Who you say? It's Kurt Angle, Benito, settled. Best in the world, only guy in the sport with a gold medal. Right. Feature both ends to the center. Physical and mental, cause he's simply better. No playing around with those second attacks. And lay you down for a 3-second nap on the mat. If staring at the ceiling on your back is appealing, get yourself a match and you gon' do that. It's a rap, you trapped in the game. You a rat in the maze, just amazed how I made my name. My fame is a runaway train on the track. I fight like my life's on the line every night. In fact, that's why I'm gonna take that strap.